This popular hymn, Stand Up for Jesus, was inspired by a dying minister, Reverend Dudley Tyng, and then composed by his friend, Reverend George Duffield. Let me say a few things about Reverend Dudley. Reverend Dudley was originally Episcopal minister in Philadelphia, and he was forced to resign because he preached against slavery. So he started his own congregation, and then he was preaching in local YMCA center to young people, and preaching revival meetings too as well, all around. We are told that in March 1858, Reverend Dudley actually preached to a crowd of about 5,000 people, mainly many young people, out of which about 1,000 of them gave their lives to Jesus and became professing Christian lives. Now, in this particular sermon, Reverend Dudley specifically said that it would be better if his hand was amputated if he did not preach the gospel to all. A few days later, there was an accident in his farm involving a mule and then a cart, and what happened is that he was badly hurt, actually maimed, that after he bled profusely, he could not survive. He died the following week. On his deathbed, his friend, Reverend George Duffield, was by his bedside. So Reverend Duffield asked Reverend Tyng, "What do I tell them?" He said, "Tell them, let us stand for Jesus." These last words inspired Reverend George Duffield so much that he wrote this hymn, Stand Up for Jesus, and dedicated it to his friend during the funeral service of Reverend Dudley Tyng. Stand up for Jesus, ye soldiers of the cross. Lift high his royal banner, it must not suffer loss. From victory unto victory, his army he shall lead, till every foe is vanquished and Christ is Lord indeed. My friend, what do you stand for? Do you stand for Jesus, or you stand for your wealth? Do you stand for Jesus, or you stand for your homes and all the things that you think you have? Do you stand for Jesus, or you have other things in your life that is against Christ? In the third verse of the hymn that Reverend George Duffield wrote, he said, stand up for Jesus. Stand in his strength alone. The arm of flesh will fail you. You dare not trust on your own. You know, many of us are trusting too much in our flesh, what we can do, what we know, what we can do, and what we have. Friends, when we leave this world, we will never take any of these along. Jesus Christ in Matthew 7 verse 13 warned us, strive to enter the narrow way, for the way that leads to destruction is broad, which means that we must be very careful about our choices. And Jesus is the only one that we choose, we will have life eternal. Friends, let me tell you, if your choice is not on Jesus, it is a mistake. Let us stand for Jesus. And in this hymn, the cry and the center of it is commitment, loyalty, and faithfulness. Are you faithful? Are you loyal? Are you committed to Christ? And that your life is Christ-like. And you desire to know nothing but Christ and Him crucified.